Have you ever had a feeling you couldn't explain, but you knew it mattered? Not logic, not evidence, just a quiet inner knowing. That feeling is your gut instinct, and most of us were born trusting it. Think about toddlers for a moment. They don't have degrees. They don't have life experience, but they know when something feels off. They know who they feel safe with. They know when they're uncomfortable. They know when something doesn't feel right. No one teaches them this. They come wired with it. So here's the question. If we're born trusting ourselves, why do so many adults feel disconnected from that inner voice? At some point, something changes. We're taught, sometimes gently, sometimes forcefully, to rely less on ourselves and more on external voices. Parents, religious leaders, teachers, institutions, cultural expectations. We start hearing phrases like, don't trust your feelings. Follow the path. This is what you're supposed to do. This is the right way. And slowly, without realizing it, we learn to doubt ourselves. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt a quiet hesitation, but ignored it because someone else said, this is God's will, or this is what good people do, or you'll regret it if you don't? That moment right there is often where trust in ourselves begins to erode. Not because we're weak, not because we're rebellious, but because belonging feels safer than listening inward. As kids, intuition keeps us safe. As adults, intuition often threatens belonging, and that's where the real conflict begins. Think about how many major life decisions come with pressure. What career you should choose, who you should marry, how you should raise your kids, whether you should serve a mission, whether you should get married in the temple, whether you should stay in a belief system that no longer fits. How many of those decisions were made from excitement and peace? And how many were made from fear of disappointing someone? That fear is powerful. Fear of letting your parents down. Fear of letting God down. Fear of being talked about. Fear of being seen as less faithful, less committed, less good. But here's a hard truth most people don't say out loud. A life built to meet expectations often comes at the cost of inner peace. And your gut knows that. Your intuition isn't loud. It doesn't argue. It doesn't shame you. It usually whispers. It sounds like, this doesn't feel right for me. I feel anxious every time I think about this. I feel relief when I imagine choosing differently. But because it doesn't shout, it's easy to dismiss. Let me ask you another question. When was the last time you ignored your gut and later thought, I knew this would happen? Most people have multiple examples. That's not coincidence. That's pattern. Your intuition is built from lived experience, emotional awareness, and self-knowledge, even if you can't logically explain it yet. And here's something important. Trusting your gut does not mean you stop caring about others. It doesn't mean you become selfish. It doesn't mean you stop helping. It doesn't mean you reject every institution or tradition. It means you stop abandoning yourself. There's balance. You can care deeply about others without sacrificing your own mental health. You can honor family without living a life that feels wrong inside. You can respect religion without forcing yourself into decisions that feel dishonest. Your life is not a group project. You are the one who wakes up in your body every day. You are the one who lives with the consequences. You are the one who carries the anxiety, the resentment, or the peace. So let me ask you something gently. If no one could be disappointed, if no one could judge you, if no one could withdraw love or approval, what would you choose? Sit with that question, because the answer that rises up before the fear kicks in, that's often your intuition speaking. Many people confuse guilt with guidance, but guilt usually sounds like you're selfish, you're letting people down, you're failing. Intuition sounds different. It sounds calm, even when the choice is hard. It says, this is honest. This is aligned. This feels true for me. You might still feel scared, but you don't feel fake. That's an important distinction. If you've ever felt pressure around things like missions, marriage, or religious milestones, I want you to hear this clearly. Those decisions are yours, not your parents', not your leaders, not your communities. You don't owe anyone a life that feels wrong to you. You can love people and still choose differently. You can disappoint someone and still be a good person. Sometimes growth requires disappointing others, so you don't keep betraying yourself. That doesn't make you broken. It makes you honest. So, how do you start trusting your gut again? You start small. Notice how your body reacts to decisions. Tight chest? Relief? Calm? Dread? Your body often knows before your mind does. Give yourself permission to pause. You don't know immediate answers. Urgency often drowns intuition. And ask yourself the simple question: if fear wasn't part of this, what would I choose? Over time, that inner voice gets stronger, not louder, clearer, and life starts feeling more like yours. Not perfect, not easy, but authentic, and that's worth protecting. If this video helped you reconnect with your inner voice, like and follow this channel for more honest conversations about faith, pressure, and personal truth. And comment below, what's one decision in your life where you wish you had trusted your gut more, or where you're learning to trust it now? I'd love to hear your story.